I think Priya Bansali has joined. Hello, Priya. Good evening.
We are live, so we can start.
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening. It is with a deep sense of grief and with a heavy heart I join with my professional colleagues today to condole the sudden demise of our beloved CA N.Nityananda sir, the past chairman of SIRC and past Central Council member of ICAI on July 21st, 2021 at Bangalore. We have assembled here this afternoon to offer our prayers with the Almighty to rest his soul in eternal Santi. It was a shock for me when on the night of 21st July, I was told that our beloved Nityananda sir breathed his last. There was setback in his health and the end was so sudden that nobody could believe the news that he is no more with us. Through this meeting, I join with my colleagues in this regional council and other members and past president of the profession to convey our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family. We also pray the Almighty to give the family members strength to withstand his irreparable loss. CA N.Nityananda sir, a great personality with impeccable qualities. He has been involved in the affairs of ICAI for 4 decades and held many positions in the administration of Bangalore branch and the SIRC and even the ICAI level. He held the coveted position as chairman of SIRC for the year 1992 and 93. His contribution to the members extended beyond the southern region and throughout the India when he got elected to the Central Council for 3 consecutive terms between 1995 and 2004. He held the positions as a member of various standing committees of ICAI and chairman and members of many non-standing committees of ICAI and contributed in great manner to the functioning. He has developed a passion to serve our profession at his young age and served as a chairman of Bangalore branch in the year of 1986 and 87. SIRC got as the best region for its performance during the year 1992 and 93 when he held the position of chairman of SIRC. I am given to understand that it was during his term as a chairman, more thrust was given for continuing professional education programs. His contribution to the profession, both at a regional and all India level, is immense. In his long association of almost 40 years in the affairs of ICAI. He continued to participate in the programs of Bangalore branch, SIRC, and ICAI as a resource person in seminars and conferences and offered his guidance and encouragement to the organizers. His knowledge in the field of corporate law is exceptional. He was a chairman of corporate laws committee and the committee had the benefit of his expertise. He also offered valuable suggestions to the institute when the company's bill 2013 was introduced and later became an act. A great speaker and a great initiator of many ideas in ICAI. He had represented ICAI in IFAC and SAFA and was the director in Accounting Research Foundation. He held many prestigious advisory positions in the Karnataka state government and even central government. And he has associated with many educational institutions, trust and NGOs and instrumental in their growth. In his demise of our CA profession has lost one of his doyens and partners of his firm lost one of their mentors and the near and dear lost an affable person and the family, the caring and affectionate person. At his hour of grief, we pray for his soul to rest in eternal Santi. Thank you. I request Secretary of SIRC, Panarasa, to proceed further.
Thank you, Chairman. It is with a very heavy heart I have to speak today, because he was a friend, philosopher, guide, and an elder brother to me. He was the first Central Council member to connect himself with the Tier 2, Tier 3 cities or official cities in Karnataka, I can say. Earlier, these small places were not visited by the regional council candidates. He was the first person when contested in around 1991, when we were only 24, 25 members in Bellary. Everyone cherishes his first visit, the way he presented himself. He proved within 2-3 hours of his visit to Bellary that he has knowledge and he has commitment and he has a purpose and is always proactive. So his proactiveness and his positive attitude and his purposefulness and his passion to serve the institute are all very good guide to us, and he had shown us the way. We connected with the institute activities only through him. So I failed to mention that first visit, if I don't remember and recollect his what's called guidance. From that day till he breathed last, just 20 days or 30 days ago, prior to his death, I was asked by ICAI to prepare a report on MSMEs state-wise. When it was Karnataka state's chance, I was the first person. He was the first person whom I could contact. He said yes, but later he told some small issues are there. I will tell you later. But he never told me what was the reason. And now, on his demise only, it was a shocking revelation that he had some problems, and it was not revealed also. So that is the kind of person he was. And he has been throughout his career of last 31 years, I have seen him. Every time when we used to talk to him, he would never miss our call. He would call back and pleasantly listen to us and instill confidence in us to face the challenges. And he was so cool. I have never seen in these 30 years him losing any temper or talking in a louder voice. That is the culture which most of the members have inculcated in Karnataka, I can say. The knowledge wise or the presentation wise, his oratory skills, his writing skills, all are very inspirational to all of us. He was proactive till almost last month of his life. I was seeing him so proactive in not only in income tax and company law matters, even in GST, and in many webinars on matters of economy of the country. I have seen him leading many discussions at FKCCI as an FKCCI member. So, as a SIRC chairman, as a Bangalore branch chairman, and as a Central Council member, his contribution to this profession and the professional members, that is fraternity, is unforgettable. And we have lost a great leader of our profession, one of the great leaders of our profession, unexpectedly. Death is certain, but unexpected death definitely will hurt everyone a lot. And we have lost him very prematurely, I can say. And his appearances on the TV discussions and his articles in Kannada newspapers were always what's called relevant for the time. His knowledge in the profession and the leadership in the institute was made use even in the FKCCI as a managing committee of the FKCCI after the term of the institute was very, very fruitful. We used to attend many meetings at FKCCI also. He is master of ceremony or as a speaker. He was taking the subject to a very different level and a very convincing level and with a lot of knowledge. Even about the MSME sector, we spoke a lot of times during the pandemic, and he contributed his article also in so many newspapers. they were so relevant. Even government considered one or two of his suggestions in reviving the MSME sector. So with this, I can say we have lost a great positive thinker and a leader of our profession, and also a very, very close friend of everyone. You would, all of you would definitely agree that he was a very cool friend, always with a smile, and his presentation, both physically, mentally, and his dress culture, and everything is worth emulating. And we miss him a lot. And it is a great loss to the professional fraternity, and also many people like me who had very close connections with him or contacts with him, and we were always approaching him for the guidance. So with this, I pay my heartfelt condolences to him. And I met some time back with his daughter at Hotel Palm Grove when we landed in Chennai. And Purva, I express my condolences to the my family members. It is not only the loss to the family, it is also a loss to the profession, and especially Bangalore members and Karnataka members, because even after that, through FKCCI, he was guiding us consistently. And I pray his soul to rest in peace, and his ideals and what's called culture is inculcated in us, and see that he is alive forever. Thank you for giving this opportunity. And once again, I wholeheartedly submit my condolences to him. And I thank the chairman for giving this opportunity to present my views about Nityananda sir. Now, can I move on, Chairman sir?
Yes, sir. Maybe
Yes.
Geeta madam, we start with Geeta.
May I request Geeta madam to present our views, our condolence messages here.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. So can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really unfortunate to address this person who is no longer around us in the past tense. And that in the past tense, we are talking in the past tense, especially because he who used to be the initiator of these kind of meetings and would never miss any of the mentors meetings, whatever we do in Karnataka. And Nityananda sir was a man of vision, and he was a kind-hearted spiritual person. Every Monday, he wouldn't have even have a cup of coffee without performing Rudrabhishekam, and he recited so easily. During the pandemic also, he actively took part in arranging meals to the needy people and joined in contributing the oxygen generators. And he was a very knowledgeable person. He was a real state person, and a person who always worked for the growth and development of our profession. Our profession was really blessed to have him as a part of our fraternity, and we always remember the interactions and learnings from him. He was, as everyone knows about him, he was an ever smiling, friendly person and has guided so many youngsters. I am also including. Here we have all greatly benefited from his contributions to our profession and his dynamism. So he was active in all the groups, and we didn't know that he was not feeling well. So he was very active in all the groups and interacting with all the other people, and active in FKCC also, and was a very popular person among income tax officials. So when I informed about his demise in the income tax officials groups, really they were shocked and surprised. So we all always cherish our memories with him and remember him as a man with a smiling face. I pray the Almighty that his soul should rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Geeta madam. May I now request BP Rao sir, past president of the institute, to present his condolences. BP Rao sir.
Unmute. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon, friends, and Aishwarya, and the past presidents of the ICAI. Nitya, I used to call him as Nitya, he used to call me as a PP. My association with him started in 1978. I was the president of the chartered club, okay, and he was the secretary of that club. So 78 to 79, 80, 3 years we spent together. Then he went to Bangalore branch. In 1982, I went to regional council. So when he was in the Bangalore as the regional council, so we almost traveled together till the council and even after the council also. That was the association of Nitya, my association with Nitya, right? And he has contributed a lot to the for the building committee because he was the member, and afterwards also we are together in a National Stock Exchange Arbitration Committee. Recently, 3 months back, I had occasion to sit with him in the arbitrators meeting, that 3 judges committee, and he was one among the three. And we had spent around 3-4 hours that day, even during the, just about 3-4 months back. And I was also shocked when I heard from Raghu that Nityananda is no more. I could not believe it. I didn't know about a week back. I think some of our friends came to know that he is unwell, but I didn't know about it at all. So I was really shocked. How Nityananda can die so early? I mean, it is impossible to believe. But what life is like that, life is death is certain, but when it comes, we don't know. But such a good person, he is disciplined, he is dedicated, he is a hard-working person, and he has a perseverance skill is excellent. Once he starts something, he will never just forget without completing it. And he is the person who has balanced his life between the work, profession, and the family. And in fact, he is ever smiling. Nityananda means in Kannada, always Ananda. That is the thing. So, true to his name, he used to be always smiling and highly knowledgeable and very good speaker, even in the TVs or even any conferences, seminars. And he used to write many books and excellent professional skill he had. And one more thing, he never hurt anyone. As Panaraj said, he will speak very low voice and he'll put his opinion and he'll never get angry for anything. That's one thing, that quality very few people have. And his family and my family, along with the Madhamurthy family, occasion to go visit Egypt in 2008 and spend around 1 week. Very good manner and very, very nice way. And one thing, it is not the matter how many years we live. What matters is how we live. So Nityananda, even though he lived for 66 years, he has achieved something even somebody else require maybe 100 years to achieve whatever is achieved by Nityananda. That's one thing. So he lived with always happily, beautiful life he spent. Even about 3 months back, I think April, the last week, he joined the condolence meeting of Mr. H.A.K. Rao. He spoke so well, and I could not even doubt whether about his illness. I think illness was there somewhere from April, whatever it may be, but it is very unfortunate. Okay, and he has a daughter, Aishwarya, who is a Bharatanatyam expert, right? And also chartered accountant. I am sure she will continue his legacy in continuing the profession and his firm. I am very confident that Nityananda and company will be there forever and she will take care. And his brother also, Kushal, also very active. He will be also there, even though he is not chartered accountant, but he will assist Aishwarya and wish Aishwarya and Kushal the best of life. And please follow whatever Nityananda has taught you and whatever learned from him is a great man. I pray Almighty to rest his soul in peace. Thank you very much, Chairman, for giving the opportunity. Thank you, Panaraj. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. May I now request Bhupati sir, past president of the institute, teacher. Bhupati sir.
Yes, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Chairman Chalapati, Panaraj, other regional council members, past presidents, and a special reference to Aishwarya. When Chalapati introduced about Nityananda, he said he entered the council in the year 1995. I also entered the council along with him in the year 1995 and worked with him for 9 long years. Taking into account the number of days council meetings were held and the various committees we worked together, on an average, if you do a back of the envelope calculation, we would have spent about 500 days together in various places. What is a striking quality of Nityananda, as many other people have echoed, is his ability to understand the technical nuances quickly, react in a very soft and very polite manner, but at the same time firm views. When I say we had 500 days spent together, we had pleasant moments, we had challenging moments, we had disturbing moments. And during those challenging moments, I could reel out many things. The Chartered Accountants Bill, the rotation of audit firms, these are all highly technical and complex matters. And all these issues, he will come out with very clear and very crisp ideas, which were appreciated by many of the council members. It is a very true professional whom we have lost on 21st of July. The other thing is the value systems in his family. As Mr. B.P. Rao mentioned, even during last month, in the month of June, May also, he was very active in the WhatsApp group. And he had circulated a booklet authored by his son-in-law on how to take care of elderly people. The fact that the family has got a value system to take care of elders itself speaks volumes about his contribution to professional as well as personal upliftment of life. So it's really very disturbing. With a very heavy heart, I have to express my deep sense of condolence to Nityananda and his family. May God give the family members the necessary physical strength and the moral courage to tide over this difficulty and carry on the profession with all the value systems which he had taught us to follow. Thank you.
So thank you very much, sir. Both B.P. Rao sir and yourself mentioned very much about great thing about his beyond the professional life. That is because being family friend, B.P. Rao sir expressed his views on his personal capacity and his personal abilities, extra abilities, and you as a 9-year-long colleague in the council, you have seen all the time the same Nityananda with a great contribution. So that's how he is a distinct person. Thank you very much for your views, sir. And now may I now request Manoharan sir, past president of the institute.
Chairman of SIRC and other distinguished regional council members, illustrious past presidents and other past council members, special invitees, and Aishwarya Nityananda. It's unbelievable and shocking that we are, because few months back, I shared the same Zoom meeting for condoling the death of past chairman of SIRC, Kandasamy, in which Nityananda spoke along with me. And we least did expect that this is going to occur within a short span of time. As everyone mentioned, the moment Nityananda's name is spelt out, what we recollect is his pleasing personality, always with a smiling face. It's only because of the sincerity with which he served the profession that he was given the opportunities to serve at all levels, at the branch level till he became the chairman, at the regional council level, where again he became the chairman, and at the central council level. And the only regret is that the position of presidentship eluded him, but he took it very sportively. I have unique memories about the third term of Mr. Nityananda, late Nityananda, because that was my first term. And I don't know because of alphabetical sequence, Manoharan and Nityananda, M and N, or otherwise by default, we sat together for the first 2 years in the old council room, because those days the number of council members were only 30. So we used to be seated next to each other and share thoughts, exchange ideas, and also personal things. And subsequently, when I became the president, he was not in the council, but the way he appreciated me, congratulated me, motivated me, still I cannot forget. And last, 5 years back, when I became the chairman, he personally met and congratulated me at Canara Bank. And within 1 year, I think he was nominated as the director of Central Bank of India, when again, as everybody mentioned, he was so knowledgeable in all spheres of the profession, but nevertheless, he had that open mind of learning, seeking knowledge. So he said, now that I have entered the banking sector as a director and you are already there as chairman of Canara Bank, I would like to pick up certain thoughts from you. And he came and met me. So this is the kind of a person. And whatever view he expresses, he will not make it unpalatable because of the skill he had in diplomatic expression of thoughts and ideas. I learned diplomacy from him, in communication. And he was so proud of Aishwarya because of the skills she possessed. And I used to acknowledge it is divine blessing that your daughter is having such, classical dancing skills. And he always used to update the kind of performances she does. And even in Chennai, once when me and my wife went and attended. So he was so proud of you, Aishwarya. And I'm sure he will continue, his soul will be continued to be proud of you by the way you continue his legacy. It is certainly a loss to not only to the profession, to all of us. And he was so active representing the interest of the profession in all spheres. In fact, he posted the picture with the finance minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, few months back, when he met her and in some Chamber of Commerce meeting. So he was very active in public life. May his soul rest in eternal peace and continue to guide and bless his family members. And, with this memory and thoughts, let us continue to contribute our best to the profession. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. being a motivator yourself, you are mentioning him as your motivator is really great to hear. And also his ever greed, or what's called interest in learning the things, that is seeking the knowledge, that was keeping him more lively in the knowledge side also. And another extraordinary quality that you identified in him was the diplomacy in communication. That was really, we should all emulate to see that he is still alive in us. Thank you very much for your condolence messages, sir. May I now request is another colleague in the Central Council, J. Venkateshwar sir, who is popularly called JV. Sir, JV sir.
Yeah. A very good afternoon to all the respected past presidents, council members, and the family members of Nityananda, who is on the panel. It's unbelievable to know that Mr. Nityananda is no more with us. In fact, it was very painful to know that he was not there when I came to the news through our WhatsApp group. And immediately I contacted Madhav Murthy on that day and came to know that he was slightly unwell for some time, which was not known to us. In fact, as the BP Rao sir has put it, he has posted a very recently about a book written by his son-in-law in the group. He was very friendly to me right when the day when I entered the regional council in '98. And I recall a big help he has given to me when, during 2016 or so, when he was the Central Bank of India director, he helped one of my good friends to get a branch audit. When I called him, he said, when I get a call from JV, I and then got that friend branch audits in that Central Bank of India. I can never forget his affectionate words always to me. And I had the fond memories of he, Madhav Murthy and BP Rao's company with us to Egypt during 2008, where we had gone for a 1 week study tour. And we had a very good time during those days. And he was always very lovely to speak and express his views. And in the council WhatsApp group also, he was very active. And it's very unbelievable, as I said, and painful to know that he is no more amongst all of us. And I express my sincere condolences to the bereaved family, particularly to Ms. Aishwarya, who is also there in the panel. And though I have never met her, he used to talk about her dance and other things. And I pray that his soul should attain moksha. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. It seems you are traveling, but still you could make it. Thank you very much for your views. May I now request Raghu sir, another past president and very close associate of Mr. Nityananda sir, and another inspirational force in Karnataka. Sir, welcome, sir.
Yeah, good evening to all the members watching this condolence meeting. Distinguished past presidents and chairman of the region, Jalapati. It is indeed, you can say we have lost a great friend in Nityananda, a tall leader from Karnataka who has served the profession for more than 3 decades. I have had the opportunity of working with him in various capacities. When I was in the branch for 6 years, he used to be our regional council member. When I was in the regional council, he was in the central council. I've traveled with him extensively to nook and corner of Karnataka, Shimoga, Davangere, Hubli, Belgaum, and always used to take good care of us. He used to, wait for us to have breakfast together. He had some very good qualities of giving good company to you whenever you're traveling to various branches. And as our predecessors rightly said, he was a very simple person, very friendly, very warm, always smiling. And what stands out most to me is that he has been in public life for almost more than 4 decades. That is something fabulous. In fact, he was very active in the Federation of Karnataka Chamber of Commerce and Industry, also in Bangalore. And of course, in the institute, he has served in the branch, the regional council, and the central council. And immediately after he finished his tenure in the central council, I entered the central council from Karnataka, and he guided me a lot as to how I should conduct myself, how I should represent the council, and what are the expectations of the members. A very friendly person, motivated thousands of students across the country to take up chartered accountancy. He has helped a lot of young members, lot of members in the profession for whatever help they wanted. He has always been willing. He supported us in all our events. Whenever we did an event in Bangalore, whenever we used to go to him, he always used to give his best support. And we miss him. I am very confident that Aishwarya, who is with us today, will carry forward the legacy of her father, Sri N.Nityananda. She herself is a good speaker. I've seen her speaking at many events. I wish that she continues the good work done by Nityananda by contributing to the profession, sharing her knowledge. And as Mr. B.P. Rao very rightly said, I'm sure the flag of N.Nityananda and company chartered accountant will be kept flying high by Aishwarya and Kushal, her brother. We wish them good luck. And I only can say that we're all extremely, pained that we do not have a good friend like Mr. Nityananda with us. And as many have expressed, he was so active in the WhatsApp group. He used to send photographs, videos of very important things that are relevant to the profession. And today we don't have him. I'm sure that all his ideals, what all he has groomed us when we were in the committee, will all help us, to follow his ideals. And I wish and I pray, Lord, to give all the courage to Nityananda and his family, to Nityananda's family, to overcome this hour of crisis. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much, sir, for your views. As you rightly pointed out, even after completing the tenure as the Central Council member, he was very active in FKCCI. We missed seeing him as president of FKCCI also. Thank you very much for your views, sir. May I now request Priya Bansali, madam, to give our views.
Good afternoon, everybody. As soon as this meeting was notified, I messaged to the chairman. I said, I want to speak today because it is with a very, very heavy heart that I offer my condolences to the family of my colleague, late Nityananda. It came as a very rude shock, and his ever smiling face and very down to earth person is not with us anymore. As everybody expressed, we really miss him. I worked with him in the council. Both of us entered the regional council in 1988, the central council in 1995. I was his secretary, if I remember right, in 92-93. And it was such a pleasure working with him for these 9 years. And these 9 years were for me a great learning personally. And whenever we used to meet, we didn't meet very often after I left the council, but whenever we used to meet, we started from where we left. And Aishwarya, he kept talking about you to us. And it's just that we didn't interact personally, but we knew about you. And even after I left the council, we used to be in touch with him, along with Sunil sir, Ashok Bhupati sir. And we, as 8 of us who were in the council together, first timers in 1995, created such a bond that even after I left, I didn't recontest after the first term. We were in touch till date. And he always used to tell me, Priya, you share everything, whatever happens. I said, yeah, sharing is caring. So, anything happened, I used to share with him. If my daughter passed, I shared with him. My daughter got married, I shared with him. Of course, he couldn't make it. He wanted to come, but he couldn't make it. So it is a very personal friend that I have lost today. And when I got the message from Mr. Sunil Goel, I was like shocked. We didn't know what really happened. Because as far as I knew, he was so disciplined in his eating habits, in his prayers, in his focus on work. I mean, it goes on and on and on. I can go on and on and on. I really personally miss him as a good friend and a colleague. I pray that wherever he is, he continues to be smiling on us. Keep smiling on us, because that's what we want. And I pray that all your family, Aishwarya, your mother, your family, have all the strength to bear this irreparable loss. Om Shanti.
Thank you very much, madam, for sharing your views about sharing is caring. And that was the person he was. May I now request CA Dr. Vishnu Bharat Lampalli, sir, part chairman of SIRC from Bangalore.
Chairman and all my good friends, with very heavy heart and deep.
Sir, your voice is very low, sir.
Okay, I come.
Very low voice.
Vishnu Bharat, we are not able to hear you.
Okay, Chairman and my dear good friends, with a very heavy heart and deep grief and condolences I express to the family of Nityananda. He was a near and dear friend to me. We have worked together Bangalore branch, in SIRC, in KACA.
Sir, Vishnu Bharat, sir, not able to hear, sir.
Not able to hear?
Sir, not able to hear, sir.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Can I come back a little later? Kindly pass it on. Kindly pass it on. I'll come back a little later.
Shall we move on and request you to correct yourself and then...
That is what he is suggesting.
Yes,
you can move to
yes.
the next speaker. Yeah.
Okay, sir. May I request K. Vishwanath, sir, part chairman of SIRC and a good friend of Nityananda, sir, to speak.
Good afternoon, everybody, and good afternoon, Aishwarya. I also was extremely shocked to hear of Nityanand's passing away. Never expected that I would lose my dear friend so abruptly, so suddenly. I had spoken to him a couple of weeks back before I heard of his demise, maybe about 3 weeks or so. And we were talking about many things that we usually talked about now and then. And I never imagined that, I will have to address a gathering like this, condoling his death. Personally, I, besides the fact, of course, everybody has expressed that we certainly have lost a good professional leader. I have lost a very, very good close friend. We studied for BCom together. We studied for the CA examinations together. We attended special classes and so on. And so from the 1980s, I've known him very closely. And I also remember very fondly and distinctly when I used to discuss with him when I contested the regional council elections. He gave me a lot of advice, and I'll never forget that. And yes, no two ways about it. He was a very soft-spoken and a very focused person. And the beautiful thing amongst everything else that has been said about him is certainly his appearance and demeanor. Ever smiling and wonderful speaker and communicator and very poised. And as Mr. Manoharan said, absolute diplomat. He knew exactly what to say, when to say, and how to say it. I certainly will miss him a lot. And today is an example of what we all know, that the mark of a man is in what people say and talk about him after he passes away. And today, what has been expressed by everybody on this panel is a true example of that. What an outstanding human being, an outstanding professional he was, that we all have shared such wonderful memories that we have had with him around us all his 66 years of his life. And certainly, I would also like to say that, it is said that good men will also have to die. But death cannot kill their names. Nityanand will live forever in our hearts. Whenever we talk about the profession, in the institute's circles and outside in society, Nityanand will always be remembered for what he was and who he was. Therefore, he is truly Nitya Anand, and he is there above all of us, looking down upon us, and giving us the strength to go on. He lives on in our hearts, and I would just like to say that my sincerest condolences to Veena, his wife, Aishwarya, his daughter, and Kushal, his son, and Adarsh, Aishwarya's husband, who's a son of a very close friend of mine. I've known the family very closely over the years. And yes, Nityanand, we're going to miss you. And Aishwarya, you have a legacy to continue, and I'm sure you will do that. And with these few words, God bless Nityanand, and may his soul rest in peace.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very, very much, sir, for sharing your longest memories, and also directly conveying Nityanand, sir, that we all miss him very much.
Ms. Pandaraj, I think I can take my chance now.
Right, sir. Bharat, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Chairman and my dear good friends, with very heavy heart, I express my grief and condolences to Nityanand's family. He was a near and dear friend to me. We have worked in Bangalore branch, KCAA, SIRC, and also in FKCCI. And we had common friends, clients. So we used to share our experiences with each other constantly. Every week, every fortnight, we used to be in touch with each other. Both of us had almost same qualities, peace-loving, and more than all, we were the good eaters. So whenever Nityanand was there, I used to give him company. We used to enjoy the food. And what I admire at him is this memory. A member whom he met decades back, he could remember the name. I could remember the face, but not the name. But his quality was to remember by name, and as if he was a very close associate. He used to talk to him and used to please the younger members, especially. And yes, we had traveled each other several times to Chennai and other places. We used to gel with each other. He used to admire about my writing capacities. He used to admire my books. And we used to exchange quite a lot of things. Aishwarya is a very talented girl. He was very, very proud of her. Never ends his talk with me without Aishwarya's name. Aishwarya, we are all with you. Any help, all of us are there to assist you. You don't have to worry, except you lost your beloved father. You can step into his shoes confidently. We are there to help you anytime you need our help. He had missed two things, probably he used to express to me, that the presidentship of CA Institute, and also he had a lot of aspiration to become the president of Chamber of Commerce. I remember the Central Council election, especially the third term. I had finished my chairmanship of SIRC, had received the Best Region Award, and he was the one who forced me to contest for the Central Council. And I used to force him that because you are going to be have the presidentship chances, you should do it. And both of us were never wanted to compete each other, because we wanted each other's interests to be taken care. But finally, he won. I want to convince him to contest for the third term. He told me that he is not going to contest and he will allow me to contest and win. But because of his president's chances only, I forced him upon, and most unfortunate, he could not make it up. But still, he had a lot of humor and his experience is something notable. And all of us remember him forever till our lifetime. And I'm sure that all the elders and the past presidents who expressed, I endorse their views. And it is a great loss as a friend, as a professional, and to the public. He was so good, he had come a number of TV interviews and he used to educate the public, not only on taxation or corporate laws, even on the common subjects pertaining to this one. And I also utilized him because he was a good speaker. I had taken him, I was the vice president of APS Education Trust, where he was the alumni. And I used to take him and show how our alumni and how the people got elevated from having studied in this college. And he was the ambassador of our APS institutions where he has studied. And I remember all these things. And it was a real shock, not able to digest even till today that Nityananda is not there. It was a real shock to me, until I spoke to Aishwarya, I didn't believe that this was maybe a fake news. We have to accept the reality. Life is very precious. We should understand and we should see that the way he has led the life, we should follow that and try to make things happen. So thank you very much for this opportunity. My deep condolences again to the Nityananda family. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for reviews. Now I request MP Vijay Kumar sir to present.
Thank you, Pannaraj. Greetings to all. Sincere condolences to family of Sri Nityananda. My interaction with Sri Nityananda is limited, but each interaction is memorable and I can very distinctly recall each of my interactions. I was along with him as a participant in a webinar 2 weeks before his demise, and I can't believe he's not with us in person now. He participated so enthusiastically in that webinar, asking the speaker very sensitive questions about the future of the profession to encourage discussion on the topic. His energy levels was actually so very high, and it is so fresh in my mind that when this news came in, I just couldn't believe it until I corroborated with a couple of other colleagues. Personally, for me, every occasion I spoke to him, he was speaking on auditing related issues. And when the new code of ethics became effective last year, he asked me about preparing a PPT for him. And he was very keen that he should do a webinar in each of the branches and disseminate the knowledge on the new code of ethics. And a few occasions I met him in person, all of which happened incidentally in Delhi. He would encourage me to focus on work-life balance. And while others probably have not mentioned, and Manoharan talked about his diplomacy and all, somehow for me, he had a voice which actually made somebody to listen. So his voice was so very imposing type that you couldn't avoid listening to him. That is so much in my mind. As past President Shri B.P. Rao mentioned, it is not about the number of years of life, but the life in the years. He was an epitome of a person who actually put life in the years. And every time you spoke, you could actually feel life and energy. My sincere prayers for strength to his family to overcome this grief. Over to you, Pannaraj.
Thank you very much, sir. So putting life in the ears of a man is more vital as lived by Mr. Nityananda, sir. So it's a great message from you, sir. May I now call upon his old friend, another friend from Bangalore, Shreyas Prasad, who is now designated the president of the FKCCI. Over to you, Prasad.
Good evening, greetings to all. My relationship with Nityananda goes back to 1979 when I was a student. He used to come to my boss, Narayan Shetty, and we have been together from 86 till 2006 at the institute. He is immensely contributed for the profession almost like 24 years, and he joined me at FKCCA. We both has contributed, and Nityananda is one person who has authority of all, be it central taxes, corporate law, and he used to always involved in the debates and suggesting policy to various government. It's really a great loss to the family and the friends, and especially for me for the journey of 42 years. Always call him as my guru and philanthropy. He is not only just a professional friend, but beyond that, he's a family well-wisher and entire family. And it's really shocking that the best part of him, in spite of his illness, he joined and logged in for my elevation as president of Federation of Chamber of Commerce. That I cannot forget. And he told me that he'll recover soon and join back, work together. And we have been one clothes for the entire trade industry. And he is a person of immortal life. I feel that's the embodiment of life. And I'm sure that wherever he is, and his soul will always bless and guide and reborn with a clear mind. And he's the one person at the illness. He was chanting mantras, has been understood from Veena and Aishwarya. And it's a great loss to the profession, the great loss to the trade industry of FKCCA. And certainly it's irreparable loss for the family. My heartfelt condolence to the family members. And we being friends, we are not able to accept the loss. It's a really painful and takes long time to heal among us. But one thing, he's a great contributor for the profession development. He has reached all the young generation, and he created a positive minds among the youngsters. I think with this, I'm speechless and no words to express my deep condolences to the family and the entire fraternity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, I.S. Prasad, sir. Your long association has made you feel much more sorrowful. Thank you very much for your time. And may I now request Kota Srinivas, part chairman of SIRC from Bangalore, to express this.
Good evening. Is it audible, Panaraj sir? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, Chairman, the Secretary Panaraj, and the past presidents of ICAI, illustrious past presidents of ICAI, the past chairmen of SIRC, the present and past regional council members and central council members, and also we have with us Aishwarya. First of all, let me convey my deepest condolences for the demise of Sri N.Nityananda, and also pray God to give enough strength to the family to bear this irreparable loss as such. Of course, a lot of things have been shared, and I also, being from Bangalore, who have seen Mr. Nityananda. But when I started my CA in 1991, in 92, I joined the SICASA. I was also serving the students this thing. From that time, I used to meet or interact with all these persons, the Bangalore branch committee members, the regional council members, and central council members. And when I joined the Bangalore branch in 2001, I had an opportunity to work with him. He was a central council member. And first time I entered the Bangalore branch, 2001 to 2004, I worked with him. To tell about Mr. Nityananda, of course, he's always been my well-wisher right from the beginning. As he's a well-wisher for a lot of youngsters, he was also a very good well-wisher for me. He used to guide me as a friend, philosopher, and guide. And he used to guide us in all the aspects, in fact. And few things which the predecessors have not covered, or my experience, I would like to share with you people. The loss of Mr. Nityananda, I should say, is a big void, like which cannot be filled in, and especially to the profession, especially for the Bangalore branch and the people of Karnataka, it's a big void which cannot be filled in the immediate future as such. And I should say, Mr. Nityananda is not an individual. He is like an institution himself. We cannot say it's only a person. So he's an institution because the service that he has made to the profession, more than 30 years to the institute and even other associations, like he has served KSCAA and also he's been serving FKCCI. And all of you were mentioning about, he was telling about Aishwarya. But all of us should not forget to bring Aishwarya to this stage more than Nityananda's wife, Mrs. Nityananda, that is Veena Nityananda, should be remembered, because sometimes she used to tell how much time she used to take her children to various activities apart from the school, because we know when a person is serving in the public life for 30-35 years, how much time he can dedicate to his family. When we are in the public life, we know how much time we definitely have to spare with our children or with our family. And it's really, we should appreciate Mrs. Nityananda, who have walked step by step. Like in marriage, we only walk 7 steps, Saptapadi, but she has walked throughout his life. And it's a great achievement, and I should say it's an irreparable loss. And I think the God should give her enough strength to bear the loss of Mr. Nityananda. And whenever we come to his PR, of course, all of you have mentioned. I need not mention about his PR qualities or his intellectual qualities as such. He had a group of people, his old friends, where he used to do this charitable activities, that is apart from the social activities. When I was a chairman of SIRC, I went to talk to him, and I sought some help for CABF. As all of you must be remembering, when I was a chairman, we collected from the region almost 1.5 crores collections towards Chartered Accountant Benevolent Fund. He has also contributed to that. He has contributed 1 lakh. Apart from, like, there are few people in this panel who have contributed for CABF. Now I should say Mr. Nityananda has contributed 1 lakh to CABF. Once I've visited the Sabarimalai, only once in my lifetime so far I visited, and I should say I was fortunate that I visited the Sabarimalai along with Mr. Nityananda because his friends and all of us, we visited. I was very fortunate to have the company of Mr. Nityananda when I visited Sabarimalai. And when before this happened on 21st of July, I called him on 6th of July. I spoke to him because I was talking to various seniors in Bangalore. The reason being, I'm contesting for the elections. So I said I would like to come and seek your advice and guidance on that particular issue. He said, now I'm not coming to the office. After 15 days, you call me. We will meet at the office. But it was unfortunate. After 15 days, that is on 21st of July, he is not with us. So there is a saying that good people will not live long or will be called earlier. So this is one of the example, I should say, the good people will be called early by the God. This is a really, I should say, a loss which cannot be replaced, or a person cannot be replaced in the profession. In fact, Aishwarya, when I got this news, maybe night 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, I got a message in the WhatsApp. Usually, I will not see WhatsApp message so frequently. So, on that day, I supposed to saw that, and it was really a shocking news. With whatever the database I have got, I circulated, I forwarded that message. It would have reached around 3,000 chartered accountants. And I would like to say that almost 300 to 400 members from across the country, they sent their condolence messages. So this shows that he was not only popular in Bangalore, not only in southern India, but entire India knew Nityananda. Even today, when I call somebody for the other purpose, they keep asking me what happened to Mr. Nityananda, what is this and all. So I once again pray God that let his soul rest in peace and he attains moksha and Satyati. Thank you, Chairman, for organizing this particular meeting.
come to the end of it, and thank you very much, Kota Srinivas, for sharing so many experiences with Nityananda sir. And may now request Aishwarya ji to speak on this occasion.
A very good evening to one and all. I would first like to thank the Southern India Regional Council, ICAI, more particularly the chairman, Shri Jalapati sir, and the secretary, Shri Pannaraj sir, for organizing this condolence meeting for my beloved father. My family and myself, we are overwhelmed and touched by the kind thoughts that each one of the members shared in the condolence meeting today. I shared a very special and a unique relationship with my father. He was not only my strongest pillar of strength, greatest source of guidance and inspiration, and he was like a gushing spring of encouragement for me. But above all, he was my best friend and confidant. I really miss him a lot. And the myriad conversations that I had with him, whether it was personal or professional, it reverberates in my mind. The last 9 years with him in CA practice have truly been the most enriching years in my life. He may not be beside me, he may not be amidst us today, but I want to say that the way he led his life and his teachings, they are truly like a beacon light, which will constantly guide me. And he was a great person and a big inspiration. And I think hidden in the footprints that he has left behind on the sands of time are innumerable lessons, many, many lessons of virtues, of values and principles, which many of the speakers did mention. And I think those values and principles will forever inspire me. So I would like to again thank all the members who are veterans and stalwarts in the CA fraternity for sharing your kind thoughts and for giving my family and myself the support in this difficult phase. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Aishwarya, for your words. I used to meet him normally at his office in JC Road. In the initial days when we were having JP Nagar house bombing ceremony, he personally called thrice. I did not resist myself. I attended that function. I don't remember this one. He was so kind, and the discipline, and as you rightly said, the values that he evolved throughout his life are definitely a way of guidance to all of us. And I wish you all the best in carrying forward his legacy in your life. We're all with you. Institute is always with you. Thank you very much. Chairman, sir.
Yeah.
Shall we close?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much to each one of you for our valuable time spending and offered our condolence message for the demise of our Nityananda sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you all the leaders of the profession for your words about.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.